The Adventures of Ijapa the Tortoise, Nigeria. Once upon a time in the lush, verdant forest of Nigeria, there lived a clever and cunning tortoise named Ijapa. Ijapa was known throughout the animal kingdom for his wit and trickery, and he often found himself in various adventures, outsmarting those around him. Though he was small and slow, his mind was quick and resourceful, and he always managed to get what he wanted. One day, Ijapa heard of a grand feast being held in the sky by the birds. The feast was said to be the most lavish event, with an abundance of delicious food and drink. Ijapa's mouth watered at the thought of the feast, and he decided he must find a way to attend, despite not being a bird. He approached the birds and begged them to let him join the feast. The birds, knowing of Ijapa's cunning ways, were hesitant, but Ijapa promised to behave and not cause any trouble. After much persuasion, the birds agreed to let Ijapa come with them to the feast, on the condition that he would behave and not play any tricks. Ijapa thanked them profusely and assured them of his good behavior. However, being the trickster that he was, Ijapa had other plans. The birds decided to each give Ijapa a feather so that he could fashion wings for himself and fly to the feast. Ijapa gratefully accepted the feathers and carefully crafted a pair of wings. On the day of the feast, he strapped on his new wings and joined the birds as they soared into the sky. As they flew, Ijapa suggested that they all adopt new names for the feast. He cunningly chose the name "All of You" for himself, while the birds chose various names for themselves. The birds thought this was a harmless game, not realizing Ijapa's devious intentions. When they arrived at the feast, the host greeted them warmly and announced that the food was ready. They called out, "This food is for all of you." Ijapa, being the trickster he was, quickly stepped forward and said, "Thank you. That is my name, and this food is for me." He proceeded to eat the best of the feast, leaving only scraps for the birds. The birds were furious but could do nothing since Ijapa had tricked them. After the feast, the birds demanded their feathers back, leaving Ijapa stranded in the sky. Realizing his mistake and fearing for his life, Ijapa begged the birds for mercy, but they were too angry to listen. Desperate, Ijapa looked down and saw a large tree with soft leaves below. He let himself fall, hoping the leaves would break his fall. Ijapa landed hard on the ground, his shell cracking in the process. From that day on, tortoises had cracked shells, a reminder of Ijapa's cunning and the consequences of his tricks. Despite this lesson, Ijapa's adventures did not end there. On another occasion, Ijapa heard of a great yam festival in a neighboring village. Being fond of yams, he decided he must attend. He knew the villagers would not let a tortoise participate, so he devised a plan. He found a large gourd and hollowed it out, creating a disguise. He then carefully climbed inside and rode himself to the village. When the villagers saw the large gourd, they were delighted and brought it into the festival, placing it among the other yams. As the festival began and the yams were being cooked, Ijapa carefully ate his fill from within his gourd. The villagers were puzzled to find the yams disappearing but could not figure out the cause. Eventually, Ijapa's greed got the better of him. He became too full to move and was discovered by the villagers. They were angry at his deception and decided to teach him a lesson. They tied Ijapa to a tree and left him there as a warning to others who might try to deceive them. However, Ijapa's cleverness was not to be underestimated. As he hung from the tree, he saw a hunter passing by. He called out to the hunter, "Good day, hunter. I am guarding this tree for the king. It is a very special tree, and the king has entrusted me with its protection." The hunter, intrigued, asked, "Why is the tree so special?" Ijapa replied, "This tree is magical. If you cut it down, it will provide you with wealth beyond your imagination." The hunter, eager for riches, agreed to cut down the tree and free Ijapa in the process. As soon as Ijapa was free, he thanked the hunter and scurried away. The hunter, realizing he had been tricked, could do nothing but laugh at Ijapa's cleverness. Ijapa's adventures continued, with each tale spreading his reputation as the cleverest of all creatures. His tricks and cunning ways often got him into trouble, but his wit always found a way out. Through his adventures, Ijapa taught valuable lessons about the consequences of greed, the importance of cleverness, and the humor in life's challenges. And so, the stories of Ijapa the Tortoise were passed down through generations, entertaining and teaching the people of Nigeria the enduring power of wit and wisdom.